Hey guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. I'm sitting here in DC traffic. Of course, they're doing some construction on the road. We are about 6 hours away from being at Lucky's, getting ready for our live stream. Hope you guys can join us. I don't know how many people will be there, but we'll be broadcasting, we'll be eating some wings, and we'll be kicking back watching the Redskins, the Giants, and the Eagles. Now, I got to tell you what is really amazing as I'm sitting here. One of the things I enjoy doing is just driving, because it's an opportunity for me to clear my head, to think, and come up with ideas, thoughts, and all that. In which case, most of you guys hear most of my thoughts and things. But what's amazing is, when we think about players that the Dallas Cowboys have gotten, players that other people said, meh, not the guy. I talked about Travis Frederick, where they laughed about picking him in the first round. The Cowboys were wise enough to go ahead and say, let's move back. We've got the guy that we've targeted in Travis Frederick, and you picked up a third-round draft pick that you got Terrence Williams, a guy who, he was never great. But remember, you got him for nothing, literally. And it's moves like that that Will McClay, head of scouting, shadow GM in my mind, has been able to pull off year after year. I mean, think about Jalen Smith. Everybody knew Jalen Smith was, a top 10 pick before the injury. But nobody was ready to go out on a limb and say, let's get that guy. But they did their homework and stuff. They had the doctor that said, this guy will play. And you look at him, oh my God, you got what may be the best linebacker in football in the second round. Now, there are tacos. We know there's Taco that's there. But you look at some of the other guys. I mean, my quarterback, my teammate, the guy I've always believed in. Think about this. As the Washington Redskins, who are currently sitting here with $27 million this year for a cap hit at quarterback between Alex Smith, Colt McCoy, and Case Keenum, are either going to trade for Josh Rosen or trade up into the first round again to try and get a quarterback. Now, keep in mind, this is the same Washington Redskins that gave up 3 number ones and a 2 to trade up to get RG3. We got a franchise quarterback in the 4th round. 4th round. 4th round. It's almost unfathomable what you've been able to do. Even Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch, I'd heard the morning of the draft that that's the guy that they really and truly wanted. That was the guy at the top of their board. I was like, man, that's just a smokescreen. That's not really the deal. And if you looked at the draft board, you see all of these players that were still left. And as Vosh said, I'm not mad about the pick, but I looked at some of the players that were left on there that we could have had. But you look at that guy, the way he's blossomed. And every year, it seems, when they look at our draft, post-draft, they always say, the Cowboys, middle of the road. They really didn't do that good. Zeke Elliott, you could get a running back later in the draft. You don't spend that much draft capital. Dak Prescott, a career backup. You need to move up and get a, Connor Cook or, one of these other guys. That's what the Cowboys need to do. They need to trade up and get one of these guys. But the Cowboys are like, no. And more times than not, you see the Cowboys going against the grain in player acquisition. Think about, and maybe David Irving's not a great example, but David Irving, the fact that he's gone, it's sad. But David Irving cost us nothing. He's not a guy we spent a draft pick for. He's a guy we picked up off a practice squad. He made over 10 sacks in his career for a guy that we paid nothing for. So you start looking at this player acquisition year after year, where our team is not built from free agents. Now, this year we went through and got a few more pieces, but typically it has been through the draft. It has been finding guys later that weren't drafted. It's finding guys on practice squads. And it's been incredible what Will McClay has been able to do. Think about Amari Cooper. I know me and my son fought about it. The fact that we gave up a number 1 pick for Amari Cooper. The Raiders swore that they got the best of the deal. Oh my God. We fleeced the Cowboys for a number 1 pick for Amari Cooper, a guy who's given up on football, has no interest in playing. They're going to end up being maybe a top 10 pick for us. How about them Cowboys? But in the end, you look back and said, wow, that guy changed the whole season for the Dallas Cowboys. And what did most experts say about us doing that? The Cowboys are crazy. They paid too much. There are other wide receivers out there that they could have gotten for less. But you know what? This guy fit exactly what the Dallas Cowboys needed. There may have been ones that wouldn't have cost you a number 1 pick, but would they have been the right fit for this team? Would they have had the impact that Amari Cooper did? Because it seems like more times than not, Will McClay makes the right moves that nobody else thinks are the right moves at the time but the Cowboys. We usually get laughed at whenever we make a move, but I gotta be honest with you. Since Will McClay has been the head of scouting and shadow GM, the Dallas Cowboys have amassed a lot of talent. And I'm more apt to believe when Will McClay believes in somebody and goes after somebody, you got to at least give them the benefit of the doubt, because his track record is incredible. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll get the most out of the team because of the coaching. But I dare say, take all the talent that we have on our team and put it against anybody else. And I don't know that there's a team that's more talented. Now, I know some people are right now, they're on the Cleveland Browns bandwagon because of all the free agents that they've signed and so on. But I think that that's going to be this year's off-season champion. So when you think, and I know we're sad because, we're not going to be in the fray tonight with that number 1 pick unless the Cowboys make a crazy trade. And I will say this. If the Cowboys do make a trade for somebody, you can best believe that is somebody that Will McClay is dead set on getting. That they'll say, this guy is a game changer for our team. They don't make too many mistakes. And understand, there's nobody who drafts 100%. I talked about in 2016, where everybody thought that the Buffalo Bills had a great draft. They traded up to get a linebacker. I can't remember the players right now. But of the players they drafted, they only have 1 guy left on the roster. And it's okay. But not somebody you looked at and saying, I traded 2 players up for. And in the same sense, they talked about our Cowboys our draft being meh. But if this Cowboys team ends up doing what I think it's going to do over the course of the next few years, we may go back and say that this draft, that 2016 draft, may be one of the best drafts in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. And that would be an amazing thing when you think about our history. Man, I'm lucky I'm on this side. They got those 2 lanes over there shut down, stopped completely. Got an accident over here. They're squeezing everybody. They're stopping that. All right. For once, I got lucky in traffic. Woohoo! All right. So, Will McClay, and you can see that they work on player acquisition all year round. That job is a tireless job. and they do their homework. They're not swayed by what you hear on TV, which I think happens with the Washington Redskins. I think the Washington Redskins scouting department is lacking because I think they go by what you hear from the talking heads more than anything else. Because it seems like every move they make are the ones that everybody on ESPN and NFL Network say are the great ones. Think about Alex Smith. Oh, they've got Alex Smith. Alex Smith, he's a better passer. He's more polished. And people will say, well, they were headed to the playoffs. But the first half of Dak Prescott's season, make no mistake about it, sucked. It was pathetic. It was putrid before Amari Cooper got there. But as bad as that was, Alex Smith had less touchdown passes than Dak Prescott at that point. So, I believe in what the Cowboys are doing. I believe in this draft. And I'm excited about tonight. Oh, my God. This is going to be the first real test of being on the road with the equipment. I've got a couple of wireless cameras and things that we're going to be using as well. And we'll be using that software to hopefully be able to bring in some feeds and things like that. And I'm excited about getting back home and doing a little practice, but I only got 6 hours, and then tomorrow I've got to go take care of repair first thing in the morning, which is going to cut down on some of my time. But I'm excited as can be about the draft. I hope you guys tune in. If you're anywhere near Springfield, Virginia, come on by to Lucky's, meet the crew, hang out, give us your thoughts about what's going on. We'll have the gang there. We'll have, I know, some great fans and stuff that I haven't seen in a while are going to be showing up. So tune in tonight. The guys aren't going to get there until 7. I'll be there by 6, and I'll be setting up and probably testing the equipment and starting to stream early. But this is what football is all about. And the reason why we love the sport is the great unknown. I'll see you guys in about 6 hours.